Hello, hello, we got another one today. Today we're gonna have a pretty fun one. I've got the FAZZ. FAZZ, man, I've been doing a lot of things that have been here for a while, haven't I? But FAZZ is once again another one that we've had in the game for a while at this point. It's an interesting one, so it's a support type, as maybe is unsurprising considering the overall bulk. And it's got, well, as you can see on the top, it's got a really big beam cannon, which I don't feel like I use enough, but it's also tricky because it has to be charged. You can't move while charging it. It does a really big shot, and then it's stuck overheated for a while. So it's one of those, like, really high risk? Is high risk? It takes a lot of setup. I'm not sure if high risk is technically the right way to put it. Oh, and then it's got a ton of missiles, too, which at this distance are doing absolutely nothing. They're exploding before they actually land, but we got a hit on there with the beam rifle, at least, the double beam rifle. So yeah, it's an interesting kit. You're pretty much constantly able to fire with rockets. The beam rifle does good damage when you land with it properly, and then it's got the head Vulcans, so your rockets are going to be really, really good, like, area denial, volume of fire type weapons, but being rockets and having weird travel time and everything, it's hard to necessarily land them consistently. But you can see there the decent damage you can get out of charged hits with that rifle, too. But we're trying to... Well, we were trying to fight off two guys. The one guy broke off, so that helps a little bit. Overall, our damage output is not exactly tearing apart the two guys that were fighting us. Both of them are still alive, after all. So we did do damage on that guy. There we go. Now he dropped. It looks like two of our guys was after him. So it's good that he ultimately dropped in the end and we got that. We're trying to hold this corner and move up to a better firing position. Doing a decent job, but we've taken a lot of damage as well. I'm glad we spread out as much damage as we did, but, like, at this point we're starting to look a little bit worse for wear. Oh, that's the other thing with this thing, too. As should probably be unsurprising, got that guy as he was trying to jump over the ledge, too, so that was a lot of fun. As what should probably be unsurprising for this one, oh, we've got a fire one on the team. I didn't notice this. I forgot about that. Anyway, it's not good in melee. It's got these huge beam sabers, which is a lot of fun, but it just doesn't have a high damage output. Oh, now we're actually going to see the beam rifle charge up. So if I remember correctly, I've got this thing kitted out, too, for charging speed and cooldown refresh. And you can see the kind of damage it does when you actually hit with it. I'm upset. I'm sad. Not upset. I think upset is too strong a word. I'm sad we didn't manage to finish him with the beam rifle. It looked like he was actually out of range. But everybody else was right there, so we still, as a team, we still got the kill, still got the points for it. And I just realized where we're sitting with points, too. Yikes. All of us are, like... Well, it looks like the healthiest of us is, like, halfway down. One of our guys, I think, just dropped there. I think that's why he's out of his suit. So... We've got a good score secured, but with good gameplay on our opponent's side, they're absolutely capable of grabbing back at least some of that score right now, since we're all a little bit worse for wear. I'm trying to do my best to get into good firing positions without putting myself too exposed, but got hit anyway, so it ultimately amounted to very little. But that's alright. As we were just talking about, we've got a decent lead secured, so it's not anything we have to worry about too much. I kind of expect our lines to start to crumble right now, though. I mean, look at where everybody's currently sitting. I'm shocked the health bars are sitting how they are, all things considered. Look at that. Nobody's taking damage. Oh, this is unfortunate, though. He's gonna knock us out. Just showed up right there out of nowhere. He's probably gonna get to rip the suit apart, too. I think, yeah. Yeah, it is the raid. I thought it was. I haven't used my Blue Destiny units in forever, come to think of it. That's another one I should take out again. Yeah, FAZZ is an interesting one. I don't see them, like, ever. I saw one the other day, which is part of why I decided to pull mine out, because I'm like, oh yeah, that was a fun suit. Why does nobody use this thing anymore? Really, I'm not sure what's up with it. There's a bunch of things that people just don't use. Also, we're gonna get stepped on here, unfortunately. We got the airstrike at least. Not sure if it's gonna do anything. Yeah, looks like it didn't do anything. That is unfortunate, but not surprising either. I'm sure I've mentioned it like every single time I do an airstrike, but airstrikes are kind of hit or miss. It's great area denial, and if your allies can keep the opponent still, it'll do a ton of damage. But the key is they have to keep things still. Got a good hit, it looked like, on his legs with that, and you can see here the kind of volume of fire. Again, they're outside of the actual range, so it's not doing anything. But you can see that sort of volume of fire again with the missiles. If you're actually, in range, that would have just been peppering the entire area they were standing, and ultimately dealing some decent damage spread out. Like, each individual rocket doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but once you get a whole bunch of them all stacking together, it starts to stack up, right? And if nothing else, it's just good area denial or suppression against enemy targets. So, great for doing what a support is designed to do, of holding back enemies for the rest of your team. Also, did I mention that they do stun? They build stun. I kind of forgot about that a little bit. So again, for backing up teammates, absolutely does a great job. They can also, I believe they can be used while boosting too. Yeah, they should be able to be used while boosting as well, so that gives you some options for mobility and firepower at the same time. It's very cool stuff. This right here is one of those tricky situations too. I'm having a hard time landing damage against this guy. Also getting hit by like multiple people too, since I am kind of exposed here. But because he's sitting right at the base of where I am, it's becoming a little tricky to line up shots against him. Looks like he tried to move up after me after I dropped. Got a good hit on him right there, and well, I was about to say it's just a matter of being able to line up the right shot with the right weapon, but our allies took care of that, which I'm kind of thankful for in that case. We ended up dropping here anyway, but in this particular case, I feel like he would have been able to get me. I kind of didn't have weapons that were good for dealing with him anymore at that angle. Like, the missiles are better if you can hit the ground with them because of splash damage. That way, even if you technically miss, you can get some damage in anyway with the splash, but trying to shoot up at a target with them, they're kind of hard to land direct hits on them with in the first place. Again, good suppression weapon. Running low on time, you can see the enemy has managed to pull back a decent amount of the score, but not enough to actually secure a win unless they were able to get some more kills. So this is why we're jumping down here, by the way, where we can't do as much as we can above ground because the rockets go up first, but we're trying to do it at the very least. Oh, I forgot about that too. At the very least, we're trying to prevent them from being able to take kills. That last confrontation gives me some fun stuff to talk about too with this suit. I know, as we're ending, but I forgot till just now, the thing doesn't get stunned from just the regular hits from melee, so it'll get knocked down, but it resists the stun from hits, which is pretty fun. And then the beam saber on it, like, it has terrible melee stats. It's terrible melee damage. I believe it has a melee armor of 0. But the beam saber's really big, so you can do sweeping swings like that and hit multiple guys that are crowding you. It gives it defensive melee capability, while ultimately still not really being able to do anything offensive with it, because the damage is too low. It's a good trade-off for having, like, the guns it has. It's fun. I like my FAZZ. I kind of wish we saw more of it. I kind of wish we saw a lot more of a lot of the older stuff, but, it is what it is. But anyway, that was this one. I'm going to have to poke around, see what I've got for next time. But anyway, yep, that'll do it. So I'll see you guys then.